Hi friends, how's it going? My name is Erin on behalf of Yoga Dia Wellness. We've had a lot of requests for a total beginner yoga class, so if you have some blocks, grab them. A strap would be great. If you don't need any of that, don't worry about it. If you're super flexible, just grab your mat. And I'm going to go through about a half an hour of complete breakdown of our sun salutation A and B and some standing postures, and we'll talk a lot about alignment and where our knees should be and where our toes should be and all that good stuff, because I know it's a lot to remember. So let's get started. So we'll start sitting down, and if it's not comfortable for you to sit on the mat, you can always sit in your chair too. So lengthen through our spine. We want to stack our rib cage over our hips, our shoulders over our rib cage, and allow the chin to be level with the floor, kind of head reaching to the sky. And then just take a couple of rolls with those shoulders, rolling those shoulders down the back, breathing deeply. Let's take a few deep breaths, inhaling shoulders up, exhale back, inhale. And let all the air out, pausing the emptiness of the space without air. Take a deep breath, retaining the breath, and exhale it out. Great job. Let's go ahead and, let's bring our hands together first, and just in gratitude for our blessings and for this practice. This is called Anjali Mudra. We place our palms together, sealing in the practice. Mudras seal in intention, so we're sealing in the healing qualities of this practice. Let's go ahead and start to roll our head around. Noticing if your shoulders are already starting to creep up into your ears. Mine were. And if this isn't comfortable for you to go all the way around, you can go, we'll switch direction, I'll show you. So let's go the other way. So you could go ear to shoulder, down, and then off to the other shoulder instead of going around, if that doesn't feel good to go around. I love these neck circles. I do them just about every day when I have time, right? That's why we're only doing a half an hour today. I've had a lot of requests for 15-minute, half an hour classes because people just don't have time to sit down for an hour. We have busy lives, especially in the summer months, during the holidays. Bring the head back through center, and then just go ahead and drop your ear to one shoulder. You can extend that opposite hand out. You should feel a good stretch right through this whole side of the neck. Wiggle out that jaw, release that jaw. And then roll your chin down. Take your head the other way. And back through center. So bringing your head back through center, let's interlace our fingers like this, and then turn them around so you're pressing your palms away from you. As you do, I'm going to turn this way so you can see what I'm doing with my upper body. I'm going to scoop and round, and I think this feels amazing. My body loves this, opening that upper back. I do this before I practice every single time. And then let's go ahead and sweep those arms behind us. Interlace the fingers, roll your shoulders up, back. If you're not able to interlace your fingers, sometimes people's shoulders are tight, grab that strap, one end in each hand, and just hold that strap. And you could even just reach the hands back like this. I just like to interlace, but either one, I guess I feel it with both. So either one, actually, if you think it's a little more effective this way. So I'm learning. I'm still learning too. So press your heart flowering. And go ahead, release. Let's make our way on to all fours. So let's talk about our hand placement. So when we place our hands down, now you can see from the side view that my hand, I'm exaggerating this, but a lot of times in yoga classes I see this. See how my fingers aren't flat? That means I'm taking all the weight into my wrist. So what you want to try to do is really press those hands. And you don't need to crazy spread your fingers. You can make them kind of relax. Spread, but not spread super wide. But you really want to, they say suction those hands down. So that way you're distributing that weight through the hands and you won't get any pain in the wrists. So then we want to have our wrists below our shoulders, our knees below our hips. And then we'll just start to circle out our hips. And again, one of my favorites, I love doing hip circles. If this is all you have time for is hip circles and cat and cow, which we'll do next, that's wonderful. It's a great full body opening regarding the hips, the back, the abdomen, the neck, the shoulders. If you find that this is bothering your knees, grab a blanket or a beach towel and roll it up and place it under your knees. Okay, let's go ahead and take them the other way. And this is great for low back tightness, hip tightness. Sometimes I feel like it kind of resets my low back. And let's go ahead and come back to center. So before we do cat and cow, I want to show you child's pose. So knees go wide, toes touch. And then a lot of folks can't get their seat down to their heels, so don't worry about that. There's a couple of options. So this is called child's pose. Arms are extended, forehead is down on your mat. If that's not accessible today, you keep your hips over your knees, feet straight up behind you, and then just walk yourself down. And you could even rest your heart on a block or a pillow for support, and then just sink your heart down. And child's pose or puppy pose is a place you can come to any time in your practice to take a break. If you start taking yoga classes and you're finding it's just too much, just come down to child's pose. Any yoga instructor will know that you just need to take a break. And then walk your hands to the other corner. And back through center. Let's make our way up. So go ahead and curl your toes under. So for those of you that don't stretch out the fascia of the feet, this might feel a little bit intense for you, but it's a great way to stretch out the bottoms of our feet. So my pinky toe and the one next to it have a hard time getting down, so I'm just going to curl those under. And then stay right here. You could stay here, or if it feels okay in your feet, to come all the way back. I used to not be able to do this. This used to really bother my feet, but look at me now. I'm able to do it, so practice. Let's go ahead and release. Tap up the feet. Another great stretch I really like to do for the wrists is take the tops of the hands down, bend your elbows like this. Start to make fists, and then start to straighten into your elbows any amount. So for some of you that might be just a little bit of a straighten, some of you might be able to do with a full straighten. This is actually pretty tight for me today because I have not been doing the stretch, so that's the cool part about this practice is you start to understand your body and see patterns, and you start to recognize, you're like, gee, I haven't done this stretch in a while, I need to, I'm really feeling it. So go ahead, bend the elbows, release the hands, and then release. So then we'll turn our right hand clockwise, fingertips back towards us, just for a little wrist stretch. We ask a lot of our wrists in this practice, so it's good to stretch them out, and then go ahead, release. Do the same on the other side, turn that left hand counterclockwise, and back through center. So let's talk about our cat and cow. So again, we're pressing all points of our hands down, wrists below shoulders, knees below the hips. Take a deep breath. Inhale. And exhale. So go ahead, inhale. Opening up, so I'm dropping my tummy and I'm lifting my tailbone in my head. As I exhale, I'm going to round, lift my shoulders up, chin comes towards the chest. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhale. Exhale. One more. And exhale. So this is your cat and cow. Great for the spine. So let's come to our neutral spine. Let's talk about downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Shavasana. So you'll hear me often say the English word for the postures, the yoga postures, or you'll hear me say the Sanskrit word. So I'll say both, so you learn both. So Adho Mukha Shavasana, downward facing dog. So firmly pressing our hands down. Let's curl our toes under and lift our hips up. So if your hamstrings are tight, no worries. You keep your knees nice and soft. See how I'm sinking my heart towards my thighs. I'm trying to get that long spine. You see this a lot in yoga class, the rounded spine. What we want is to get that nice long spine. So you can see the difference. I'll show you one more time. So this is kind of a rounded spine, but what we want is to sink our heart towards our thighs and get that nice long spine. So if that means keeping your knees bent, that's okay. Eventually you'll work on straightening them. In fact, we could just pedal through our feet, walk out our dog. My calves are feeling really tight, so this feels really good for me. And then let's go ahead and walk our feet forward, as many steps as it takes to come forward. Bending your knees a lot. Drape your torso over your thighs and take a hold of elbows and just let your head and neck hang right down. Just shake out that head, yes and no, releasing tension in the neck. I'm holding onto my elbows. You can even just let the arms hang. So let's go ahead and roll it up. So you can take your hands to your thighs for more support. And then roll it up vertebrae by vertebrae. Letting your head come up. Last. Yay. And just roll those shoulders back a couple times. So let's start at the top of our mat and let's talk about our sun salutation A. So standing at the top of your mat, firmly pressing into your feet. There's a little bit of a tuck of the tailbone, the core is drawing in, shoulders are down the back, and your gaze is straight ahead. So I'm going to face you for this so we can see each other. So looking straight ahead, firmly pressing my feet down. So you'll hear yoga instructors talk about the 3 points or 4 points of the feet. So it's the outer pinky knuckle, the big toe knuckle, and then the center of the heel. And so we want to press into those 3 points of the feet. Knees are soft. And then again, there's that little bit of a drop of the tailbone, just a little, hugging our core in, shoulders down, palms open, crown of head reaching to sky. So there's an inward, upward motion of that core, holding it. It's called a lock. Uddiyana Bandha Mula Bandha. So engaging those locks, the core here. And also, you want to kind of draw that chin back a little bit. So this is mountain pose, standing tall in mountain. We'll move through our sun salutation A, nice and slow. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, lift halfway. So hands come to your shins, crown of head reaches forward. Exhale, plant your hands, and then step back to plank. From here, we're going to drop our knees in the tops of our feet, and I want you to hold right here for a moment. I'm just going to move back a bit so you can see me. So holding here. So I've got my core really drawing in. I'm going to hug my elbows in. I'm going to keep my gaze out here rather than looking down. Gaze out in front. Hugging elbows in to lower. Coming all the way down with control. Press the tops of your feet down. Press your hands down. Draw that core in. Inhale, lift up. So for you, that might just be here. Some of you might be able to lift up higher. Exhale, lower. Curl your toes. So that same transition of drawing my core in for chaturanga. This was called chaturanga, dandasana. And then I'm going to press up. See how my body stays in that plank pose. Curl the toes. Lift up your hips. Downward dog. Yay. Adho Mukha Shavasana. We made it. Sink your heart towards your thighs. Nice long spine. Deep full breath. Walking your feet forward. Lift it up halfway, lengthen through your spine. Crown of head reaches forward. Hug your core in. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rising all the way up, reaching those arms up to the sky. Exhale, hands through center. And Tadasana. Yay! Back to mountain or Tadasana. Standing tall in mountain. We'll move through that again. Here we go. Inhale, arms up. Exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands to shins or thighs. Hug your core and long spine. Exhale to fold. Plant the hands. Step back to plank. Shoulders over wrists. Drop your knees. Drop the tops of your feet. Chaturanga. Lowering down. Hugging belly in. Hugging elbows in tight towards your body. Press your palms down. Press the tops of your feet down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale to lower. Transitioning back. Curl your toes. Press up. Keep that body in plank. Curl your toes under. Lift your hips. Downward facing dog. Breathing downward dog. Remember, long spine, soft knees. If you can't get the legs straight, breathe here. Inhale, walk your feet forward as many steps as it takes. Lifting up halfway, lengthen. Exhale to fold. Inhale, rising all the way up, reaching those arms up. Exhale, hands through center. And Tadasana. Yay! All right. Well done. So let's talk about Sun Salutation B, Surya Namaskara B. So Utkatasana. For today's practice, let's keep our toes pointed for traditional Utkatasana. You're like, what the heck is that Utkatasana? Well, you're going to see. Hold on. So toes together, heels slightly apart would be traditional Utkatasana. But for today's practice, I'm going to have you take your feet hips distance apart. So Utkatasana is chair pose. So sinking down. Now you're like, oh, okay, I know what chair is. So sinking the hips down. So what often happens is people kind of arch their spine. See if you can find a little bit of a tuck, also called thunderbolt pose. So sinking down. Relax your shoulders down your back. Exhale, fold forward. Well done. Inhale, lift halfway, lengthen. Exhale, plant the hands. Chaturanga Dandasana again, stepping it back. Dropping the knees, tops of the feet, hugging elbows and gazes out in front to lower. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, lower. Curl your toes. Lifting up. Downward facing dog. Breathing in Adho Mukha Shavasana. Exhale it out. On your next inhale, make sure you're firmly pressing your hands down. Step your right foot forward. So if you can't quite get it there, you can grab it and pull it forward. Let's come to Warrior One, Virabhadrasana A. So I'll show you from the side, and then I'm going to turn forward so you can see. So I'm getting the outer edge of my back foot down. I'm squaring my hips forward, deep bend into that right knee, and then my arms come up, shoulders drop down. So from the front, it would look like this. deep bend into that right leg, right knee over right ankle. See the back of my leg. I'm getting it straight, getting that outer edge back and down. Hips are squared forward. Don't worry if your hips don't quite square forward. It'll come with time. And I'm lifting through my torso, lifting my heart. And then my arms come up and my shoulders drop down. Yeah, good. Really nice. So take a couple of breaths here. You're in warrior one. Well done. A couple of breaths. Big, deep breath. Exhale it out. Inhale, exhale. And again. On your exhale, take your hands down. Who says yoga's not a workout, right? Step it back to plank. Here we go again. Chaturanga. Knees drop, tops of feet. Gaze out in front. Elbows lower down. Hugging them in. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale to lower. Curl your toes. Hug in your core. Transition back. Downward facing dog. Whew, one side down. Let's try the other side. So on your inhale, step your left foot forward, warrior one on the left side. So same thing. Left toes in front, knee right over ankle. So a lot of times that knee goes like this. You want to keep that knee right over that ankle. If you drew a line from your front heel, it would intersect your back arch. Try to get the outer edge of that back foot down. Hips square forward. You're like, how am I going to remember all this? You will. Trust me. If you keep sticking with me, we'll keep doing it together. Hips squared forward, lifting up through your torso. Float those arms up. Let those shoulders drop down. I know, it seems like a lot. You'll get there. Breathe. Good. Exhale. Hands come down. Grab blocks if you need them. Step that leg back. Back into plank. Chaturanga. Lower the knees. Tops of the feet. Elbows hugging and gaze out in front. Lower down. Press the palms down. Lift up. Exhale to lower. Curl your toes. Lifting up. Downward facing dog. Breathe. On your inhale, walk your feet forward as many steps as it takes. Lift up halfway, lengthen. Exhale to lower. Utkatasana. Sink it down, lifting up, shoulders down. Tuck the tail, hug in the core. Exhale and release. Woo! We did it. Surya Namaskara A and B, Sun Salutation A and B. So let's talk about just a couple of standing postures. We're just going to jump right into those. So let's talk about warrior two. So if you're facing the top of your mat, step your left foot back. So right leg in front. So right toe is pointed to the top of your mat. If you drew a line again, the front heel would intersect the back arch. So I've got some nice writing on my mat, so I know where the center of my mat is and where to place my feet. Knee over the ankle. And I like a nice wide stance because I like to come in deep into that, but you don't have to have a super wide stance. Just keep that knee right over the ankle. So oftentimes I'll see this in class, the back hip's higher than the front hip. So you want to come in and level through those hips. What starts to happen is that knee starts to cave in. Guide that knee back out again. Take those arms up, shoulders drop down. If you find it gets painful in the shoulders, flip the palms up to help those shoulders stay down. This is your warrior two. Your gaze is over the front fingertips. Arms are reaching out from the shoulders, reaching out through the fingertips. So let's talk about side angle. Right hand to thigh or right elbow to right thigh. Looking down, make sure that this elbow is right below the shoulder. You don't want to sink down. You want to be pressing down, keeping that shoulder right over that elbow. This top arm, take a couple of circles with this top arm. You want to stop right here. See that straight line I've got from my left wrist to my shoulder, to my hip, to my ankle. I'm still rounding down through my feet. Then I'm going to spin my left ribcage up to the sky. This is called Parsvottanasana, side angle. And again, it can be done here. If this is too much, do it here with a hand on the thigh. Rising up. Let's come into triangle. This is one of my favorites. I am going to shorten my stance just a little bit for side angle. If you have a block, I would place it on the inside of your front foot. Knee is soft, not bent, just slightly soft. Inhale, arms up. Get long. Exhale, start to reach over your top leg for triangle. Let that right hand come down to the shin, to your block. And then just take this top hand for a moment and spin that left rib cage up to the sky, and then extend that left hand up. Triangle. My favorites. One of my favorites. If it bothers your neck, you can always take your head down. Good, bend into that knee. Inhale, rising up. Make sure you're breathing in these postures. We'll do a wide leg forward fold in between both sides. Toes pointed to the side of your mat. Soft knees. Inhale, lengthen. Hinging from the hips, we're going to fold forward. Let your head and neck hang right down. Give that head a little shake out, yes and no. And then let's go ahead, take our hands to our thighs, hugging your core. Inhale, lifting up halfway. Exhale, inhale, and rise. Let's take it on the left side. Spin those left toes to the back of your mat. Again, front heel intersects back arch. Hips are level. Check that those hips are level. Making sure our knee is right over the ankle. It's not caving in. Right over that ankle. Take those arms up. Beautiful. Side angle, Parsvakonasana. Elbow to the thigh or hand to thigh. Right arm will take a couple of circles with that top arm. And then we'll stop right here for side angle, Parsvakonasana. Spinning that ribcage up to the sky. Breathe. Inhale up, triangle, Trikonasana. I'm going to shorten my stance just a bit. Grab your block, place it by the front foot if you need it. Softish knee. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, reaching over that top leg. Take that left hand down. Take that right hand, spin that right rib cage up to the sky. Hand reaches up. A lot of times I see people try to crank themselves open. Rather than cranking the arm back, let that opening come through the rib cage. Spin that right rib cage up. Bend that knee, inhale, rise and up. Look at you, that was awesome. Spin those toes out, heels in, take it down, open, goddess. Hands come to the thighs, drop your right shoulder, gaze over your left shoulder. Inhale up, exhale left. And back through center. Go ahead, lift up, toe and heel your feet together, and come to the top of your mat. Let's make our way down to our seat. So we'll do a round of boat Navasana to strengthen our core. Shoulders down, hugging belly button into spine. Lift those legs up. Level 1, you stay here. Level 2, you can release. Level 3, you can straighten. Hold here. Breathe for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. Go ahead, release. Hands behind you, windshield wiper those knees. So let's talk about a seated twist. Right leg goes out in front. Left leg comes over the top. It looks like this from the front. Left leg over the top, right feet out, foot flexed. We'll take a twist over our left shoulder. Left arm behind you. Inhale, grow long. Exhale, twist gaze over that left shoulder. You can stay here with a hand on the knee, or you can hook the elbow if that's available. This helps us to detoxify the body, squeezing toxins out of the organs. I also find it's a great spine stretch. On your exhale, start to unwind and release that leg. Let's do the same thing going the other direction. Left leg out in front, right leg over the top. Grabbing a hold of that leg, right arm behind you. Inhale, roll long. Exhale, twist gaze over that right shoulder, hooking elbow if it's available. Get long in that spine, kind of reaching the sky. And releasing back through center. Release those legs, take the soles of your feet together. Bound angle, Baddha Konasana. Soles of feet together. You can open the feet like you're opening a book, guiding the knees down. Inhale, grow long in your spine. So what I don't want to see here is rounding forward and bringing the shoulders up. See if you can keep your shoulders down your back and sit up tall. Yes, beautiful. Inhale, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, folding forward, leading with the heart. Take your elbows to guide those knees down. And go ahead and release. Let's make our way down onto our back. Scoop and roll yourself down vertebrae by vertebrae. Let's engage that core one more time. Coming all the way down. So we'll do a brief inversion. Inversions help us to reverse the flow of energy in the body. So take your hands, dive them under your seat, palms facing down, and just take your feet up to the sky. You can circle out the ankles if you'd like. And go ahead and lower those legs down. Bend your knees, release the hands. We'll come into bridge. So feet are hips distance apart, pressing your feet down. And you want to keep your knees squeezing towards the center line. Don't let the knees squeeze out. Take your block between your knees if you're worried about that happening. Press your arms down, lift your hips up, and then shimmy the shoulders one and the other underneath you. You can interlace fingers. You can reach towards the heels. Lift your heart away from your heels. Squeeze the knees towards the center line. They're not touching. We just don't want them to splay out to the side. Go ahead, lower down. Hug those knees in and just rock and roll on that back. You can circle them out to massage that low back. And then finally, Shavasana. We extend our feet long. We close our eyes. Let everything go. Coming into a place of stillness. You're welcome to stay here as long as you'd like. In Shavasana, relaxing. But I wanted to say thank you so much for this beautiful practice. Thank you for being here with me today. We press our palms together in Anjali Mudra in deepest gratitude. Take a deep breath. Exhale it out. Inhale. Exhale. And again. And I'm going to chant Om. If you'd like to join me, inhale. Om. Thank you so much. My name is Erin. On behalf of Yoga Dia Wellness, thank you for being here. Have an awesome day. We'll see you again real soon. Thank you.